All right, so you're watching Today with John and Helen on Plus TV Africa. And our focus on the show today is family financial security with the woman as the breadwinner. How comfortable is the society with this arrangement? By the way, I'm Helen. By the way, John, as usual, the week was quite, do I go on, eventful. So much happened around us, so much happening around us, leaving us with loads of questions and not enough answers.
Yeah, and I think I'm beginning to sound like a scratched record, because I've talked about the issue of floods, talked about traffic, but yesterday I think we took it one notch higher. I spent about 5 hours.
Can we ever get this issue of flood and traffic in Lagos, especially in this season?
I really don't know. I spent 5 hours.
Because it's like a recurring decima. Every year it is expected. Yeah. And we never get disappointed.
We never get it right. So I don't know what's happening. A journey that would normally would take me maybe 45 minutes. I spent 5 hours.
Is it that we have a lot more people on the streets than we should have?
The roads are bad.
Everybody's on the streets.
Our attitude is wrong.
Okay.
So all of that put together, and then of course, this question of, it's Salah time. Everybody's traveling. The roads are all jammed. And then the rains and all of that just made yesterday chaotic.
But here you are.
Yeah.
Nigerians. Hey. Yeah. Nothing stops us.
Well, we hope that we'll have better and more interesting days ahead of us with Nigerians, both, young and old, doing what they're supposed to do. We're happy to be here at least.
Yeah, we are.
We're hoping for a better future.
We will continue to be here. And something that actually caught my attention, well, it's not new, it is the increase in younger people getting involved in this matter of kidnapping. Earlier this week, a young girl, 22 years old, was arrested. And this is a business she does for her father, toddlers. Little kids around her area.
It's really worrisome. It's worrisome. And just yesterday, where I used to live, there was a report of a kidnapper, somebody, alleged kidnapper, who was arrested. So I don't know what's happening. Why?
No, what's happening is poverty. What's happening is indiscipline. What's happening is values being thrown out of the families, And our environment. What's happening is the absence of good role models.
Yeah. Which is why we're here. Yeah. And we're having a family show. And we're supposed to try and change, a lot of these things.
Because if this weren't happening, how could we explain the fact that Abuja, that seems to be a fortress, when you talk of security,
yes.
and the minimum prison was infiltrated.
It's just a big joke. I don't know what to say.
It's no longer a joke.
It's just a big, because how do you absolve? How does the security agencies absolve themselves?
And I'm asking myself, how many days after? It happened on Tuesday. This is Saturday.
Yeah.
We haven't heard one single person, who has been meted out with any level of punishment. What we're getting is questions from the presidency and explanations from the Minister of Interior and the relevant authority who should ensure.
Helen, you know what? Let's brighten up the day a bit.
No, it's brightened for me already.
Let's go on to the program. Let's go on to our program. Maybe that should brighten up our day.
I'm bright.
Yeah, because like I said,
oh Lord,
we're hoping that we'll have interesting days ahead. And,
definitely.
That Nigerians, whatever age, would take hold of their destinies. So, back to the matter at hand. It's time for us to usher in our guests. Like we said, our guest is standing by.
Yes, she is.
She's a John Maxwell coach, a speaker, a teacher, a trainer, a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, and a certified creativity coach and ambassador. Our guest is a leadership strategist, team builder with amazing results with helping people find clarity in addition to building individual and family systems that create bliss.
I've seen her. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Our guest is an author of several books and magazines. One of them, or a few of them, Father to Mentor. Fathers, you must take the lead. The 21-day complete woman marriage challenge, just to mention a few. She's a certified married master mentor. She's a board member, executive affiliate, mental health and addiction counselor at the Institute of Marriage and Family Affairs, USA. Kindly join us at this point. So welcome, Bridget Elesin, who is joyfully married to Tunde Elesin, and they are blessed with 3 prophetic children. I am curious. I want to know what this prophetic, on the line. Yes. Yeah. Madam, thank you so much for making it out to join us on the show this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
How are you?
So excited. Thank you.
How is Canada?
It's fine. It's cool.
As usual.
It's a bit warm.
Yes.
So.
As usual.
All right.
Great. So could you please tell us what this prophetic thing is about the children?
I get people asking me that. Yes. Okay. They were, how do I say it? I'm a person of faith, so it was like I got them based on instructions. So I just put it there. They're prophetic and they have their position in terms of what we do as a family.
Wow.
A team, and we call them our prophetic seeds.
Excellent.
Great to know that.
Okay.
Well, so again, welcome to the show. Welcome on board. Of course, it's no news, when a man is breadwinner of the household. So why do we raise eyebrows when a woman assumes this position? Could you tell us?
Okay, so basically, if we talk about traditions here, culturally, it's the man that brings the bacon. It's the man that brings the bacon and the woman fries it. Culturally, the man is the hunter, goes, get the meat, and the woman cooks. So they've always been breadwinners traditionally, but things are changing now. Things are changing because women are going to school, and then with the economy, a lot of people are forced to work. In those days, it used to be the man working, just like one income household. But now we're finding out that we have more of 2 income households than the usual way we used to know the family. So women are going out there working, and as per bringing in the bacon, they are also cooking it themselves. So men are not so supportive in terms of bringing it in and then cooking.
We have a new normal then.
Yeah. Okay, so you talked about the word changing, and change, we resist change, but change is good somehow. And 2 is better than 1. And so women are achieving their goal of equity and maybe equality. I know that a lot of guys don't like to hear that word, equality, and some women think it's not even necessary to go that route. Now, should this bother us?
The truth is, in marriage, it shouldn't. If you understand who instituted marriage, you understand that it's a partnership. We are all created equal, and it's a partnership. When you decide to get married, you're getting married to your better half. You're getting married to somebody that is comparable to you. So this should not be a problem when you say, okay, who is earning what, but it depends on the individuals. And like I always tell people, we are a product of our nature, who we are, and then our nurturing, who nurtured us. So that's why we are having these issues, why people think, oh, this is a problem, this is a problem. Yes, traditionally, the man should be the breadwinner, but times are changing. And we all have gifts, we all have talent. Should we just sit down because we feel, oh, you should just be the homemaker? I've seen men that are even better homemakers than women. So it depends on how you were nurtured. So should women be breadwinners? I will say yes, but in the space of, how will I put it now? when people say, okay, should she be the sole bread? Because who is the breadwinner? Is the person that brings the money and supports the family, the main person. It's not going to go down well with a lot of people. Okay? So basically, what do the couples want? So if you come to me and you want me to cancel, what do you want? Because I can't interfere into your home. What if the woman truly has the capacity to make more money based on what she has studied, based on what she has read, or where she is? So should she sit at home because the man's ego is at stake, or because the society dictates?
Yes, but you see, perceptions are very strong, perception, and that comes to play a lot in this conversation. Now, the truth is that women are perceived, and strongly so too, as better household managers. I mean,
Yeah.
that almost is like a natural role for them. Then shouldn't they shouldn't they naturally be the breadwinners if they were able to manage the house naturally? Then naturally you should also look for the resources to run the home.
I like that. Only the strong man that can manage the woman. Because some men will say, oh, she'll have this over bloated ego. Now that she's earning, she'll come and dictate and things like that. So normally, because she's a better home manager, she should be better with the finance as well. She should be better
that's the argument.
Yeah, that should be it. But the truth is, we need both parties so that the work is not too much for one person. Because even the men that are breadwinners now are complaining. Their salaries are not enough. Yeah. And then talk about their mental health, talk about their physical health. A lot of men are doing 2-3 jobs just to make sure that they are able to pay the bills. If your wife can support, why not do it as a team? Why not do it together? You're a team.
Yeah. Okay. I like you're insisting on that word, team, and that's what should happen. But unfortunately, we don't see that playing out in a lot of marriages now. Being the breadwinner is a leadership position. And we're told that the woman is the weaker sex. Yes or no? So explain to us how this relates to power and control.
Okay. I have a friend that said anybody bringing in the money, like if she's the one with the money for that week or that month, she controls the house. Okay, so dictates what they should do and every other thing. If he's a husband, he controls the house. So people have different dynamics in their homes, but the truth remains that if a woman is earning, we are both leaders, we are co-leaders. Yes, I always tell people this. He said headship in marriage is singular, but leadership is plural. Headship is singular because the man is the head, but leadership is plural. So we are both leaders. So who ends in my own case is, will I say, in quotes, does not matter. But if we follow tradition, then the man should earn. But if the man is not able to earn, and you can both manage the resources that you both bring, then I think it's fine. It's fine for both of them to manage. And if it's the woman that is earning more, how do we manage so that the man is not feeling less of a man? Because a lot of men complain that when women earn more, they tend to look at them, there's this quote, you look at someone with a ship with ram eyes. Let me just use ram because it's Salafi. You're looking at the person with sheep eyes or ram eyes like, oh, you're not a human being. But that's not true.
Yeah, because really that takes us to our next question. Yes, of course, you see, you've talked about this teamwork, but I see a little conflict, because at the same time we say that we cannot have two captains in a ship. All right, we cannot, of course, we cannot talk about this powerful position, this position of breadwinner and this power position that attends to it, without paying attention to ego. Are women, are women able to manage the ego aspect of being breadwinners in the home? Are they doing well?
Not all, not all. And why is that so? Why, let me explain something about the ego thing.
Yeah.
If a woman is helping, it's just like the man goes to work, he comes back, he meets food, he meets things in place. Then now assume that a woman is helping you, she's not the main breadwinner, and she comes back home and everything is in disarray. You still expect her to cook, to clean, to do everything, and you've been at home as a man, sitting at home doing nothing. And then there are men that are financially abusive, they are not earning, they will collect the woman's money and tell her this is how much I'll give you, because if not, the money will get into your head. And then they use that as control because they feel, oh, I'm the leader. Okay. I'm the head. No. If you want to be a pilot in a plane, you don't choose your co-pilot in the air. You choose your co-pilot that is comparable to you. The co-pilot should be able to do what you can do when you are both flying. So you don't select a co-pilot when you're already in distress. So any woman you've decided to marry should be good enough to manage things with you. So not the woman is any, which traditionally is not a role, because we are still looking at tradition. It's not a role. And then she comes back and you still expect her to cook, to clean, and do so many things. After some time, she becomes dissatisfied because you are not contributing in any way. And to an extent, to a lot of women, it will be, oh, this man is a nuisance. I'm better off alone. Which is not really true. But now that man is frustrating that woman working. If you as a man, you go to work, you bring in food, you bring in everything, and you come back to meet your house, not clean or kept and everything in disarray, you will complain. So it's the same thing. She's a human being. So that ego thing comes when the man is not supportive, when the man is somehow becoming a nuisance, and when they are not communicating together and helping each other.
Okay. I got another word, communication. Sometimes they tell us that love is enough. But we have found out, over the years, over time, that in marriages, in a successful marriage, love alone can't stand the test of time, especially in these days of a lot of hardship. And so from the beginning of a relationship, sometimes it's clear that the woman is, up there, has the upper hand in terms of finances, depending on, where she's working and all the opportunities that are available to her, to be up there higher than the husband. They know from scratch. So why does it become a problem? Why do husbands in this circumstance now feel threatened when the stakes are down, when the reality sets in a marriage? I mean, it's clear from the beginning. Why?
I think it comes to the self-awareness of the man, comes to him not knowing himself and knowing that this is somebody that has come to help you, okay, to make your body lighter. So when the man is not self-aware, it becomes a problem. His ego comes in as well, where he now thinks, oh, I'm the man, I'm the man, and then you want to box the woman into a corner and make her feel less of a human being because you feel that, okay, you can't provide. And then when you talk to her, even when she's talking normally, you are raising your voice. So it's a problem of self-awareness on the man's part. And that's why men should develop themselves. Develop yourself and then also be exposed and know that you're not having money in your pocket does not mean you do not have wisdom to give direction. Because if you have a woman that you already know was working in a good place and you met her and you decide to accept her, all you need to do is to keep encouraging her to be her best, keep being the man in the house, keep supporting her, and if she brings in money, make sure it's spent well. And if you are the saver and she's the spender, or just identify who the spender or the saver is in the house, administer your funds judiciously, you won't have any problem. So that case of competition will not be there because you are exposed. And when you are good to a woman, when you care for her, when you encourage her in a workplace and things like that, she won't come up with those ego issues where you feel less of a man.
Over to you, John.
Bridget, I'm tempted to say that you tend to be supporting the female angle more than the male angle. Is that right?
Not really. I'm trying to bring
I don't
balance.
think so too.
You know why? Because most times I've seen women that have the ability to earn, and the men are suffering. So where I will come hard on the men is you becoming, you know what my father used to call that word, nuisance value. Becoming a nuisance when the woman is earning and you are not supportive. If you're working hard as well and the money is not as much as our own, you've not done anything wrong. They always say all fingers are not equal. Yes, the man should earn. If we look at some of our mothers those days, believe you me, some of them did quite a lot to make sure that our fathers were stable.
Yeah.
Even if it was the men going out to work. But they are being appreciated. You know, the men staying and being available to train the children, to support her in her career and everything, made that home stable. So where I have a problem is when the man becomes abusive financially. You are not earning, you are not helping in the house, you are not even supportive of her.
You
You're
become
trying
an
to
obstacle.
jeopardize her work, you're trying to bring a lot of drama into her life, and then she will become dissatisfied with the marriage and dissatisfied with you as a spouse.
Yeah. You know what? If you ask most men, they'll rather keep the status quo the way it's been in the past, when it is very clear, whether on paper or this or spoken, that look, I am the one who's responsible for XYZ, and my wife is, my wife is there to manage the home, because we're having clashes and it's beginning to cause it's beginning to cause a lot of problems. We have observed that today it seems that we're having more women emerging as breadwinners than men.
Is that also a problem?
It's a problem. And why is it so?
Mr. Johnson is a problem. It
shouldn't be.
Please, why is it a problem?
Yeah, they're emerging as breadwinners and they're not managing it well.
Oh, Lord. So is it a problem, really? Is it that more...
I don't think it is. The truth is, I want a soft life. If you can afford to give me that life, you can afford to pay the bills, do everything. Oh, that's fine. I will live the baby girl life. But the truth is, the reality which we are faced with, just having a one income stream is not enough. And just sitting there, I just tell most women, you just sit there and, oh, my husband can provide. God forbid. I've seen people that their husband could provide and all of a sudden the man died. Too much work, trying to make ends meet. And then he goes and you're forced to be in the labor market. Where do you start from?
So maybe we should just empower women a little. Not...
You're just being the man. He's just being the man here. You know, why a little?
Too much power.
Why
they say power corrupts.
Ability and capability.
Power corrupts.
And the potentials of a woman.
Power corrupts.
Both the man and the woman are human beings, with sufficient intelligence and ability to achieve and to be successful, John.
Okay.
Don't let us fight on this show. Okay. All right, madam, we will take a very short break at this point. The Holy Book tells us that a man who finds a wife does find a good thing. And so, in fact, a helpmate. So, we're asking, why should this be a problem? With the wife stepping in, to assist even when it comes to the finances. We shall pause here for a break, John.
Okay.
Calm down. Cool it down, all right? When we return, Bridget, Elesin, our guest, will still take us deeper as we find more answers. This is Today with John and Helen, and our break beckons. Please don't go away.
Yes, the studio is getting warmer by the minute.
It is.
And we're still talking about females as breadwinners with our guest, Bridget Elesin, all the way from Canada. Helen.
Yeah.
Fire the next one.
I wonder if this is, Bridget, I wonder if this is an African thing, a Nigerian thing in terms of the impact, or if it's a universal trend that we're having problems in marriages as a result of the woman being the breadwinner. That would be my first shot on this segment.
Challenge, because same thing is happening everywhere. And from research, 50%, of people with such a dynamic where the woman is earning more, most times you find out that 50% of them have issues and sometimes it leads to divorce. So it's not just in Nigeria, it's happening everywhere. But the truth is, outside Nigeria, people are getting to the point where, okay, let's contribute. So it's like 50-50, you're bringing something, the other person is bringing something. But in Nigeria, we're still very, very traditional, where we feel, oh, it should be the man alone. And if it's the woman, then the man should end up frustrating her because her ego will, go up. She's the breadwinner.
Okay, let me confess that in the first part of the program, I played devil's advocate.
I know.
God. Thank God, John.
So now let's even go to brass tacks. Let's face the realities. Of course, there will be advantages and disadvantages of having a woman or the woman as breadwinner. Would you like to share some of these with us?
Okay, the advantage and disadvantage.
Yes.
Okay, the advantage, if I come from a mental health perspective, when you share the work, when you share the work, you have less burden. So the man is more relaxed because he knows that he's getting support from his wife. Okay, and then two, if they're working as a team, they are better able to manage their resources together. Unlike when one person is earning and the other person will feel, okay, you are not earning, so you should be treated anyhow. We would be treated as equals, because I've heard a lot of women say, because my husband is earning, he doesn't even know that staying at home, because women actually should be earning even for working at home, but we're not paid for doing those jobs we do at home. We're not paid. If you have to pay a maid, you have to pay, the work we do, driving and co, you will see that we have a lot that we're contributing, but it's unpaid. Okay. So but when you now bring something in and both of you manage, it's better. So what is the disadvantage? I think apart from the ego issue and then the men not being able to manage strong women and women that are earning, I really don't see too much of a disadvantage. Okay? But that advantage comes when the man feels, oh, traditionally I should be earning, and then he's not able to manage the process and manage one. The woman too feels she's not being supported, because if the woman is supported, most times that ego issue will not be there. Okay. So the disadvantage is when they can manage the dynamics, that the woman is earning and then the man is not supportive, there will be friction, definitely. Okay. So that's where the advantage.
All right, leading from the advantage and the disadvantage on a scale, would you say that we're having more dysfunctional families today as a result of women, having more financial power and taking control of the finances of the family?
I don't think so. It still boils down to perception. I don't think so. I have quite a number of people that I know that earn more than their husbands. And all we keep advising, for some of them, they are good. Nobody hears, nobody knows, because the man is also supportive and is helping. But when they start having issues is when the man is unreasonable. Where people, how colleagues and some other people like, oh, woman repart this, because the man is trying to be supportive, they start saying things. And then the man goes, the other way and starts frustrating the woman. So right now, from that research, let me read it. It said there's an increase of divorce by 50% according to a recent University of Chicago study, just because the woman is the breadwinner.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah, that's useful information.
That's very useful information.
Because, like I said earlier on, perceptions. Perceptions are very strong. And it's like we're fixated on our, beliefs as well. So maybe if we're able, and their culture, if we're able to, level out, do this without any biases in our minds, we will better manage the situation. I mean, like, okay, in our society today, for instance, culture, which is a very strong part of our being, encourages the man to be on top.
Whatever that means.
Wouldn't it be, stifling? Wouldn't it be stifling the financial potentials that any breadwinning woman may have if we insist that culturally, traditionally, the man should be on top. He should be the, Wouldn't that be stifling whatever potentials the woman would have?
Definitely, because if you have a male child and a female child, you want both children to do well. Like I always tell people, we are religious, even in Africa, in Nigeria. God himself is a feminist that made man, male and female, made them equal. In marriage, yes, there's that disparity, but the disparity is not for you to make the person a servant. No.
No, but God made the female a helper. God made the female a helper, not the head.
Yeah. No, you are not the head. I said it before. I said leadership is plural in marriage.
Yes.
Headship is singular. So he can direct, but whoever you've married is helping what? There's something that she's come to help. So she's comparable to you. So how do you manage that? So if we don't move away from this traditional gender-based roles, because I've seen men that can cook, and you get married to a woman that can cook, and you sit down and you end up eating food that is not well prepared just because you are insisting the woman must cook. And maybe you grew up with all boys, 4 boys, and your mom taught you how to cook. And in our own home, probably they had maids and servants and they couldn't cook, but that does not make her less of a wife or a woman.
Yeah.
If you can cook, can we move a bit and shift to the points where what you're good at, do what she's good at, do, but it has to be communication.
You sound like you've tasted my cooking. You sound like you've tasted my cooking.
Okay.
So you can cook, sir. That's good.
All right. As we go, towards the end of this show, the final minutes of this show, I am beginning to think about the makeup of a marriage, especially in our environment here, where we believe that a union is not just between the man and the woman, the husband and the wife, families, friends, and all of that. How much of external influence would you say, is responsible for the crisis we have in this arrangement, and what should couples do about it?
Okay, I think a lot of external influences, because some of these men, with the issues with their wife being breadwinner, is something that they've taken from their parents. And sometimes not all parents those days were open to communicate what they were going through in their homes with their children. Unlike these days that we talk to our children, we communicate better. So women, men, please sit down. Your marriage is different from your parents' marriage. Sit down with your spouse and agree. How are we going to run home? Because it's like you're running a new nation. You come from this part, you come from the other part, you come to form a new family. What will be your family values? What will be your family constitution? How do you intend to run your home? Is it going to be a 2-salary home? Is it going to be, like both of you are bringing in the money, or one person will stay, and if the other person is staying back, what will be the value the person is bringing? So you both, when you agree together and you have it together, no external force can come and, spoil the dynamics of your home. But when you don't have things settled, you don't communicate, you don't have things aligned, then definitely you start having those challenges. Because when they talk, why are you staying at home? Why are you a house husband? For example, if you're staying at home, and there are a lot of people working, and you have your money, I have your money. The more the merrier. It's good for both people, as in the couples.
I know that John has a last question for you, but I'll just quickly chip this in. Would it also help if I let my husband know how much I bring home every month, and he tells me exactly how much he has? Now, this management of finance, whether it be from the wife or the husband or the sourcing of finance, are we transparent about it? Would it help? And from your experience as a counselor, what have you discovered? Are spouses, are husbands and wives open about these things?
A lot are not. A lot of people are open. So that's a problem. We advocate joint accountability. You can have your accounts, because some people say, should we have joint accounts? No. And it depends on the dynamics of your home. Because one person can say, let's have a joint account, and only one person is funding the account and the other person is just emptying the account. That won't be good. But if you both agree to joint accountability, you can say, this is what I earn, this is what I'm bringing. Agree on your finances, how to pay your bills and everything, and you will have peace. It's not nice. It's just agreement, sitting down to agree. And I always say this, every family has a spender and saver. Who is the saver? Sometimes it's the man, sometimes it's the woman. Whoever is the saver, especially for women, they love security. Money is security to the woman. But whoever is the saver, let the person handle the money, take care of all the bills per month, and then whatever is left, you each give each other stipends. Have your own money to spend for your enjoyment, and the other person spends theirs, you know? If you do joint accountability and you are open, believe you me, you won't have so much drama with finance. Whether you have, you don't have, you both be happy because you know that you are together on this same financial issue.
Well, okay. I think that this conversation today hasn't gone in favor of the men. We may have to set this up again, and I'll now bring in a man.
Okay.
You know, we'll bring in a man to balance this thing out. Okay. Because, quite frankly, what I'm asking myself now is, do men really want to continue being breadwinners? We hear that many of us even want to take a break. Maybe we should take that break and let the women have their way, and let's see if they can manage it.
What do you think?
We don't want that. We want you to support. Okay. You don't take a break. Let's do it together.
We should do it together. Okay.
Do it together.
All right.
Oh boy, thank you so much, madam. Thank you. Don't mind John.
Thank you, sir.
You know, you have been so balanced. You know, you're doing a professional assignment on the show today.
If you say so.
That has been so nicely, you know, tied together. With the advice that couples should be open on the subject of finance, avoiding manning up. You know, when I was reading on this, I came across these two words, manning up and womaning down. The aspect of a man inflating how much he brings in and the woman reducing. But she has said everything should be, you know, on the table, and transparency should be it. So, these are how far we can go. Thank you once again, madam. Thank you so much. And our regards to the prophetic children and your dear husband. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate it. So, you're still watching Today with John and Helen. And there's still more on the show. Next is the Kid Fit segment, after which we will usher in Pharaoh Shonuga and her guest on the lifestyle segment. Stay with us.